Hey, Corey, you there?
Yep. We'll get started with Megan Triplett.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win. Before the game, you talked about how solid the defense had to be. What did you see from your defense, especially there with those last few possessions at the end of the game?
Yeah, I mean, this is, you can say all those things and then, you hope for the best. I mean, this is a very tough team to guard. They have a lot of individual players that can take a lot of tough shots, but they also moved the ball really, really well tonight. We were throwing a lot of different coverages at them and give them credit. They moved the ball extremely well. I thought our rotations for the most part were pretty good. We tried to force them into some tough shots and they made some tough shots and they made plenty of open shots that we've got to clean up, here in 2 days. But I thought one of the biggest, takeaways was giving up 43 points in the third quarter. Our guys just continued to fight. That fourth quarter was huge, holding them under 30 points. Clutch, defense. There was a couple of possessions, offensive rebounds that hurt us, but we were able to get the stops at the end. Great one-on-one defense at the end, forcing tough shots, collective rebounding opportunities. It's going to be great film to watch and go back and figure out how we can be even better. I mean, we still gave up 128 points against an extremely good offensive team. We got to find ways to get better, but I'm really proud that in the fourth quarter we were able to rebound from a really not so good third quarter for us.
Joe Mullinax.
Congratulations, Coach, on the win. Obviously, you've had an opportunity to watch a lot of great Ja Morant basketball games throughout your time with the Grizzlies, but he had another special game tonight against a great player like Damian Lillard. I know you talk a lot about Ja being aggressive, getting to the rim. 12 free throws. Nobody else on the team for the Grizzlies had more than four. Just talk a little bit about Ja's performance, especially that aggression that I know you really want to see from him consistently. He definitely had it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we knew one of our key mentalities into the game is this team. It's gonna be hard to stop them. They're going to score. They've done it all season long, but we've got to have a next play mentality and really try to establish our pace. And we've struggled recently. When teams score on us, we don't play to the pace. We don't get the ball out. I thought he was phenomenal tonight. I thought our outlets, our kick aheads, the pace he was pushing with was huge for us. And I felt there in that fourth quarter, score stop. Defensively, we got the ball out and we were able to take advantage of a couple of fast break opportunities, score, free throws. That was huge, before they could get their defense set. Because I thought, half court wise, they were doing a pretty good job being physical, switching, being up in pick and rolls, slowing us down. We didn't have the movement, there in the second half. They made a good adjustment. But I thought our pace and that next play mentality of taking our defense, whether they score or we got to stop to get out, and Ja was a huge contributor to that. So it's going to be great film to go back and see how we can try to duplicate that. It's going to be a different story come Sunday.
Evan Barnes.
Taylor, how big is this win, not just because of who you guys beat, but the fact that the last few times you guys have been in close games, obviously Denver comes to mind, you guys have struggled to close out. How big was this win strictly for the fact that you guys locked down and were able to kind of just deliver the finishing punch, if you will?
Yeah, tons of credit to our guys. They've embraced this, learning opportunity, the growth opportunity. We've definitely not been great coming out of All-Star break, in close, one or two possession games. But tonight, we talked about at the beginning of the game, the discipline throughout, the mentality we got to carry. We withstood some great runs, some great offense. We came up with the stops that we needed to, came up with the rebounds that we needed to, and made the plays that we needed to on the offensive end. Every game's going to be a little bit of a different story tonight. The defensive stops and then getting out and running is something that you don't see all the time late in the fourth quarters. But tons of credit to our guys, that they understand what it is this time of year and how we got to get better, and us as a coaching staff, how we can find ways to get better. There's a couple of tactical things that, we've been talking about with the team that we're able to execute and be able to go back and watch the film and see how we can continue to build on, the good quality play we had late in the game.
John Coleman.
Coach, obviously these close games that you've had against good teams in March and April, you say take it one day at a time, these growth opportunities, a lot better. You mentioned the clutch defense, but the offense seemed to really be in the flow tonight as well against a very good offensive team. It just seems like that you continue to get more consistent in that fourth quarter. The growth opportunities are starting to pay off, it seems.
Yeah, I mean, I know I'm a broken record here, but, we've got to grow for 48 minutes. I give our guys credit. We've been starting games better. I thought tonight was huge. I mean, this is one of the best first quarter scoring teams in the league, and we came out with a defensive edge. And, then the middle of the game kind of, was very, very back and forth. But those fourth quarters, that's the one that you really try to hang your hat on and make sure we're getting the best quality play over the course of the game in that fourth quarter. I thought this was a great team effort up and down the roster. So many great contributions, defensively in one-on-one situations, pick and roll coverages, the combinations, the rotations. Then offensively, a lot of guys really benefited from the great pace that we play with and the great ball movement. But a lot of that really stood out in that fourth quarter. So can't get to that fourth quarter until you have the first 36. But our guys have, as I said, embraced this opportunity. But, we're not done yet. I said we got a lot of work to do still. We got to find ways to get better. And we're going to have another opportunity here pretty quickly on Sunday.
Terry Davis.
Hey, congrats on the win, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey, man, X played a great game, not only offensively, but defensively. How has his development come, especially in the second half of the season?
Yeah, I mean, he's such an impactful player. I've seen it all season long. The impact he can make defensively. I thought he was tremendous in pick and rolls. And, they still get by you and their ball handlers and put a lot of pressure on you and their bigs and stuff. But I thought his execution was really good, but I think he's just steadily gotten better over the course of the season, finding different ways, whether it's, pick and rolls, it's his rebounding, it's, his rotations on the defensive end. He's really grown a lot. And then offensively, he just plays within the offense, scoring off a pick and roll, scoring off of dump offs, the 3-point shooting, just constantly finding great spacing and his teammates finding him and shooting it with confidence. So he obviously has been a huge factor to our success this season as it's been with so many other guys. But I love seeing the growth, and especially in pivotal games and tough matchups, this is great learning for him.
Evan Barnes.
Taylor, Jaren obviously finished the game and he played a few more minutes, but just how big was it? I'm sorry saying how big, but with Jaren back in there, how is this going to be kind of the plan, with his play in the fourth quarter? How huge was that for you guys to have him down the stretch, just his inside game being a big factor?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I mean, obviously we're still being very smart with his minutes. I had to pull him out there late and, was able to sneak him back in for, rebound and 2 big free throws. But, thinking big picture, being smart with him, but obviously getting those, quality fourth quarter minutes, trying to figure out the sub patterns when he can come in there and make a difference for us. But I thought, again, two games in a row, his defensive activity has been huge for us. Finding his mobility, getting his game legs back, defensively, I thought he made some nice plays. He's trending in the right direction, just one game at a time, one day at a time. And then offensively, he's doing great things off the bounce and getting downhill and finishing through contact, finishing over contact. That's been big. And that's just continuing to see him grow his game. And it's only been 2 games and we're excited to see him continue to put in the work and what more is to come for him.
Thanks, Coach.
Great. Thank you, everyone.